Welcome to 29 to Life,
the podcast where two nearly 30-year-olds are still trying to figure out their 20s.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Lucy.
Come and join us as we figure it all out together. Hello.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready.
You ready?
Ready for this.
You're raring?
Always.
Love it.
I know, right?
Well, all right then. Jingle.
Lucy's Loves and Loathes. Welcome back to Lucy's Loves and Loathes, everybody's favourite segment of the week, and nobody can tell me otherwise because I'm in my own Delulu land.
You're also in your own home, so I feel like it breeds
yeah.
much more confidence than usual. Not that you're not normally confident, but...
Yeah, exactly. So here we are. I know that my love of this week was obviously meeting the beautiful little Freya.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh my god. So for context, Freya is our friend Emma's little girl.
Yep.
Who is absolutely adorable, and myself and Annie have met her, and it was the most glorious day.
It really was.
So I think that's topped everything this week with all the stress and everything that's gone on. But my loathe of the week is something that's funny and, you know, people have taken the piss out of. I got a bit of post, guys, and when I opened said post last night, I got done for speeding.
Oh no.
On the motorway, coming down to see Annie in February.
I take no responsibility for it.
That's rude, isn't it? I fully take responsibility for it. I've owned up to it. It was me, and there was photo evidence attached. Me chilling in my car, sunny's on, blazer on.
I actually kind of want to see that.
Do you know what? My mum has even asked to see the photos, but I don't think I can access them because I had to log into like this portal. I think to do it.
You know what? When we finish this recording, we should try again, and if we can, we should screenshot it and put it on the Instagram.
Oh my god, yeah! I'm clearly loving life because I was. It was sunny. The tunes were tuning. The blazer was on. I was lip syncing to whatever song was playing. I was feeling myself.
I like it.
And clearly I was in my own little bubble.
You were feeling the accelerator too.
And I was feeling the accelerator. And I've obviously, because it was me, there's no denying.
Yeah.
You know, got to own up to these mistakes, guys. So I'm waiting for them to get me back in contact with me.
Fingers crossed for a speed awareness.
So don't tune and drive, guys.
Tune and drive.
Just don't do it. All right.
No.
So that was my love and my loathe of the week. And I hope everyone has enjoyed that as much as I've clearly enjoyed experiencing all of that. So
I have to say, this week, obviously, the love is like the best thing ever because I also loved it.
Yeah.
I double loved it. We just, the most amount of love in the world we could give that, we would.
Absolutely.
But there was a little bit of me that kind of loved your loathe.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know.
I can tell.
I didn't know about the sunglasses bit, which is quite funny.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'll try.
All right. We can do my thing now then.
All right.
So, time for...
Put another slang on the barbie.
Now, I kind of want to put a disclaimer out before I say this one.
Okay.
It is not something I would say.
Okay.
So, there we go. My drongo rellos are in from whoop whoop.
What the fuck did you just say?
Do you want me to say it slower?
Yeah.
My drongo rellos are in from whoop whoop.
I want to say it's some sort of like branded thing that you've ordered and you're really excited to go pick it up because it's been delivered. That's my guess.
That is very random and very incorrect.
You're telling me that that's random? What you've just fucking said to me is random.
Let me break it down for you,
all right? Break it down.
Drongo is like loser, idiot, fool.
Oh.
Like,
wow,
just like,
okay.
Oh, what a drongo.
Okay.
Rellos, short for relatives. That's why I put a disclaimer out to say that this is not from personal experience, nor would I say that, because I don't believe that. But I didn't want to give more than that because it would give it away to you.
Makes sense.
So my idiot rellos are in from whoop whoop. Whoop whoop just means like middle of nowhere. So like you could have like relatives staying who normally live out in the country or something. Whoop's like, where the fuck are we?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So my idiot relatives are in from the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay, because the way that you said it initially, I was like, oh, that sounded quite positive. That's why...
Did it?
Yeah, the inflection on it. So that's why I went down the delivery route.
See, inflection, though, in Australian goes up, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It's just how the accent is, isn't it?
Yeah, true. I'm learning that now.
Yeah. Well,
wow, okay, you've really spun my world on its axis right then.
Have another jingle and then let's get into the episode.
Fabulous.
As always, you can check us out on our social pages. We have an Instagram, we have a YouTube, we have a TikTok page, all with the same handle, at 29 to Life Pod.
And then you can also send us a cheeky email, which is 29tolifepod@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
Limbo.
Back into it. Limbo Bimbo.
Limbo Bimbo, baby.
As they say in that episode of The Mighty Boosh. You've cracked yourself up. She's lost it already. I don't think we mentioned before the jingle that we were having an episode about Limbo today, but that's just part of Limbo, isn't it? You never know where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know what's happening.
No. Coming out of left field there, but that's okay.
Yeah, just, we're trying new things. We want it to keep it fresh. So we're
funky fresh.
Trying new stuff.
And this is also going to be the last episode of series 1.
Yeah, we basically just had this really honest chat about what we need to do with it, and because we want to keep it fun, we want to keep it as a good hobby, and we've actually we sort of realised maybe potentially we were running a little bit before we could walk, and
yeah.
We just want to walk and have fun and just stop and smell the roses,
Exactly.
So if that means we have to take a little break every now and again and break it into seasons, then that's what's going to happen. And
exactly.
If you miss us, just re-listen to the episodes that are already out. They're not going anywhere.
No, exactly.
We've actually gone away with a structure for this episode, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? How are you feeling?
I feel fun.
Yeah, me too. I feel light.
I feel like I am performing in a pantomime.
I love that vibe.
I'm light on my feet,
Yeah.
I'm not weighed down by anything.
No.
I'm definitely going to throw some chocolate buttons at a child.
Wow.
Do they still do that, or is that not allowed anymore?
I don't know.
Did you ever have that? Buttons in Cinderella, though, in the pantomime, always used to throw out chocolate buttons at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's allowed anymore.
I don't know.
But essentially, with Limbo... To bring it back down to the point that I was trying to make in the first place, Limbo is something in which we found ourselves with this podcast. We were having these conversations about it, and we were like, what do? We want to make it more fun, we want to make it more snappy, but we also still want to have a level of professionalism, which I think we have with our intro and outro and how we present it. But I think the reason we wanted to do it in the first place and have fun with it was to be a bit more chatty and a bit more relaxed and share a bit more about ourselves. So
that's what we're going to do.
If you don't like the change, then just listen to the first 7 episodes again and just pretend that that's where it ends. Get with the program. We're moving on.
But also, I think as we do our future seasons of the pod anyway, I feel like every episode in every season is going to be a different vibe anyway. So let's get on the vibe bus and let's just enjoy the ride.
Is it
get with the program.
Similar to the Venga Bus? Yes.
Absolutely.
Great. The Venga Bus is coming. Oh, I love the Venga Bus. Anyway, and the Vibes Bus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, in a nutshell.
That's that. Get on the vibe bus.
The Venga Bus. If we're going in circles. We're going in circles. Limbo. That is actual limbo sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, to sort of think about it in a general sense. To me, limbo doesn't necessarily always have to be stuck between two places, as I suppose is the actual definition of it.
Yeah.
Because I think you can feel, well, I know I certainly have felt in my life, I've felt really cemented in some areas and maybe not so much in others. And I think it doesn't have to be that you're completely in limbo for everything. Sometimes some things are working and some things aren't. But I would say that when you are feeling like you're in limbo, it can make you sort of reassess more things than you would think. So then sometimes you do end up changing a lot more than you probably would have if you hadn't have been feeling a bit lost in the first place.
So explain to everyone then what your current sort of limbo state has been like.
Well, it's been a strange year in general, just because historically for me, the like least busy time of year work-wise has always been between January and March. And last year, I was like, okay, I needed to have some surgery done on my leg, and it was quite a lengthy recovery process. And obviously, because I'm on my feet standing all day at work,
yeah, of course,
I had to like really pick when I wasn't going to go and work. So I was like, well, logically, it makes sense for me to do this surgery in January.
Yeah.
And then I think it was going to take me until April to fully recover and then be allowed to go back to work, which is normally when the jobs kind of come in. So last year I did that. And then I did a couple of sort of like dailies. And then I think that was sort of May time. Then I sort of completed on the flat, and I was still doing a few days here and there, but I pared myself back from it because I was in a position where I could choose when I wanted to work because I wasn't on a contracted job.
Yeah.
I pared back my days a little bit so that I could deal with completion and moving in and moving out of my other place and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because that just takes a lot of time, energy and effort, doesn't it?
And then I did a couple of days, and then obviously all the writers' strikes and actor strikes happened. It was only when the SAG-AFTRA strike started that everything kind of shut down because they couldn't do anything with any actors.
Of course.
There was like there were some jobs running in England that didn't have SAG-AFTRA actors in them. Long and short of it was there really was barely any work, and I then obviously didn't have any work to go to.
Yeah.
And that strike lasted until November.
Which is still so crazy to think about.
Yeah. So it was a very long time. And so I'd had a period of time before the strikes where I wasn't working because of my surgery, and like I was really excited to get back to work.
I know you were, yeah.
I was like, I'm going crazy. I cannot wait. This is going to be really nice. And I did really enjoy like my first couple of like weeks. I think it was about a month, 6 weeks. I was back at work before the strike happened, on and off. And then obviously like the excitement of moving into my flat sort of took over a little bit as well. So I was like, oh, I'll just take a few days off. It's fine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have taken those days off if I'd have known there was a big old strike coming, but
yeah.
You can't change the past.
No.
Came back from the strike, and I just think I had too much time on my hands, and I got very in my own head and was like, do I even want to be in the industry anymore?
I know, yeah.
And that freaked me out because I've always in some capacity known that I wanted to be in this industry.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what on earth would I do? And I didn't know. And I was like, well, I'll go back to work. I'll try it. So if I still like it, it might just be because I haven't worked in ages. I've got like anxiety about working. And I went back to work, and it was with a team that I really liked, lots of really nice people. And it was, you know, there was nothing wrong with this job, but I was just suddenly like, I don't think this is for me anymore. I don't know what to do. I still worked hard. I still like
I know you did.
Put a lot of effort in, and I would never not do that for people. But I just suddenly panicked and was like, I don't know what I want to do anymore. And then obviously Christmas came, and I just I went away and went back to Australia for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think a large part of my attitude to working over the last few years has changed because of the fact that my dad died. So
yeah,
I view things very differently, and my priorities have changed as a result.
Of course, and something like that will always shift that.
Yeah, and then so it was kind of like, it was a perspective change, and then coupled with the fact that I hadn't worked for such a long time. And then also, I think the strike naturally, I mean, for me personally, I can't speak for everyone else in the film industry, obviously, but for me, the reasons behind the strike and how it was like being resolved obviously brought up questions within my own mind about how I'm treated in the industry, and
of course
what I would want and like my ideal, you know, situation. And I remember having a conversation with some friends who work in the industry, and we were all saying, if this was a 9 to 5, it would be just the best thing ever. It would be like the golden job. Yeah. And not that it's not the golden job, because it's not a 9 to 5, but we've realised how much of our lives we do sacrifice to do,
of course,
the job that we do.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are definitely benefits, which I think I spoke about in our careers episode. Like, I can take time off when I want to if it is within my control of taking a job or not taking a job. Obviously, sometimes there are restrictions on that. But also, I'm very lucky that I get to decide when I'm working and decide when I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm also very lucky that I get to do a job where I just meet so many great people.
Oh, yeah.
And I've met so many great friends, and like the atmosphere on different, like obviously every job is different, but there's lots of similarities between them too. But you just meet different people, you have different experiences, you see different things. And I think I got really in my head, and like towards the end of last year, and I suppose the beginning of this year, about feeling like I should have more of a boundary between work and my life, and feeling like, if I am going to have all the things I want for my personal life in the future, like if I want to have kids and if I want to get married and all of these different things, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm working 16-hour days.
Yeah.
And actually, there are people who have done it and they can do it.
Of course, anything's possible, but I understand why you had that sort of questioned.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't want to work 16 hours. I'd happily do that for any job.
Yeah, I know you would, yeah.
But I think I kind of got ahead of myself and thought, I personally am not ready to have children. No. I've hugged a baby for a long time today and I loved every minute of it, but I couldn't still be hugging that baby because I'm not mentally ready to do that.
No.
And
you're not in that phase of your life yet. And you can't, as much as I know that is something that you want in your future, which is amazing, right? It's not now, and you're not planning, you know, for that massive change in your life in the next few months, are you?
Yeah, to sort of make it a bit more lighthearted, it's almost as if I'd become like an apocalypse prepper. Do you know what I mean? Yes. I was like, I have to do this, this and this and put all of these things in place and find something new so that I can, and it's like, actually, I'm not even there yet.
No.
And
we're all guilty of doing that, though. We are.
And I do genuinely think it's because I've had so much time not in that atmosphere that it was very easy for me to go, oh, I don't want to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did a number of things that made me feel like I was leaving. So I'm probably not going to undo them because whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I owe one person a text, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I have been in a headspace where I feel like I'm not sure what I want to do. And for a second, I thought I wanted to change industries completely. And I looked into other avenues for that. And I had some like really kind people help me out with that. And I had good experiences and everything. But there was just something that wasn't clicking for that to be what I wanted to be as my job.
With all of that that's sort of happened for you career-wise and you questioning things within like the last year.
Yeah.
How does that sort of make you feel about things, especially when you're in that sort of limbo headspace?
It's really weird because I was talking to my friend Jess about it and I was like, I feel like I'm going through a breakup. And she was like, yeah, well, if you're leaving something behind that's not right for you anymore, it is going to feel sad, but you still had some really good times.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, and now I'm back with my boyfriend.
Oh, amazing. So, you reconciled. Amazing.
I decided we're not breaking up yet, babe.
No.
We're in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
But actually, I had an illness that lasted quite some time. Not like a serious one. That made it sound way deeper than it was. I was just really ill. I'd say really ill for a good 10 days, but like I'm still it's been about a 3-week event, really. It's horrendous. And I can't breathe going up the stairs very well, as Lucy saw when I arrived. She was like, it's okay, we've got 2 more flights, we can have a break at the next landing. And I'm like, struggling.
Not to laugh at your pain of trying to get up my stairs yesterday, right? But I'm not going to lie, it did make me feel better about myself.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
But that is also why we ended up having a week off of the podcast, because I actually just, my brain could not listen to anything to edit it.
I don't blame you for that.
I just couldn't move. And, you know, I said to Lucy, like, I missed my bin day the first week. And then the second week, because I live in an upstairs flat and there's obviously not a lift because it's just a house that's been split into 2 flats. And I had to go downstairs to take the bins out and then obviously go back upstairs to get back to my house. Because otherwise I'm literally just inside of my front door sat on a mat. That's all that's there. There's just a mat and then stairs immediately. So I did it and I went back upstairs and I genuinely thought I was going to pass away. And
do you know what? I think that's like my new favourite saying.
It's better, isn't it?
I love it.
Anyway, so that whole period of me being ill, I didn't have a lot going on. I wasn't seeing anyone because I was worried I was infectious, and I live alone, so I really wasn't seeing anyone. I was talking to people occasionally, but I also just could not concentrate and found it quite difficult, and I was really snotty. It was just gross. But I spent a lot of time sort of rewatching things and decided to start watching classic films that I'd never seen, because there's so many that I really should have watched and haven't. And I kind of just fell back in love with the film industry again. And I was like,
I
don't
love that.
want to leave.
Yeah, no.
I kind of just all of a sudden was like, I don't want to leave. But then I also realised that perhaps the reason I've been really confused and kind of in limbo about it all is maybe I am in the right industry but doing the wrong job.
Yeah.
So that's my next thing, is to figure that out. Is, am I doing the right job within the industry, or is it
and you know what?
something different?
Yeah, and sometimes these things take a while to think about and figure out, and that's okay. I think that's part of the whole limbo process. It doesn't matter what it is that you're feeling in limbo about. You need to have that time and space to have that thought process.
Definitely.
To be able to know and understand what you want to do next and your next step, and that's okay. Yeah. There is no time limit on how you resolve these things, because it's only you can sort that out for yourself. Yeah,
I do think, like, in terms of limbo in general as sort of a topic, work and career related limboism, is that a word?
I don't know, but we'll make it one.
Work and career limbo bimbo is really common. And I think it's interesting, because I had a conversation with someone else who was saying that they, when they were my age, they had a sort of at a similar time, they had a career transition, and they were confused about it all and didn't know what they wanted to do. And I think it is natural.
Of course it's natural. Because it's just not really spoken about much. Yeah,
and I do think subconsciously the reason I maybe got ahead of myself with the whole having kids, getting married, all of that malarkey, was that there was this subconscious clock ticking in my head to the fact that at the end of this year I turn 30, and they're the things that I should be talking about and thinking about, and it's actually just like, I don't need to have a kid right now, because that would be irresponsible of me, and I have no one to have a child with, so that would be really weird if I just was suddenly like, I'm having a baby, and everyone's like, with who?
Yeah
I don't know. I just went to this clinic and they said, hey, you're pregnant now. So
yeah, great. And great if people want to do that.
Oh, yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if I did that, people would be concerned about me, because it's not something I have said I want to do right now.
Exactly.
I've got things to do.
Yeah, she's busy.
Like figure out my work limbo bimbo.
Yeah.
So.
And that takes time.
Yeah, exactly. What about you? Have you got any limbo bimbos going on?
Not currently.
Sorry, I can't stop saying limbo bimbo. No, it's really quite fun.
I quite enjoy it, to be honest. Not currently, because I feel like I'm finally in a place where I feel a bit settled.
Okay, I'm going to throw something at you, right?
Okay.
I agree you are settled, but I think...
Oh, God, here we go.
You are coming out of a limbo bimbo for dating.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am,
because
folks.
We did set a challenge. Well, I say we. I forced a challenge upon us.
Yeah, you did.
In the last episode.
You did.
And actually there's been a whole time jump situation in between that, which is the magic of
pre-record
editing.
and editing.
Time? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just magic.
Poof.
So how are you going with that?
Well, so challenge was set. Let's take you back to episode 7.
It was set. It was not well received. I'm not going to lie.
No, it wasn't, because you know me, I don't necessarily like being put on the spot about this subject.
You're kind of like a racehorse as well. You don't like being sort of edged into a corner. It makes you nervous.
It makes me spooked.
Yeah, she spooked.
I spooked. Okay?
She was about to like buck me and run off to start a new life.
Yeah. And honestly, that look that she gave me across that table when she was telling me that she's setting this challenge for both of us, I could have slapped her.
Listen, that was coming from someone who's been on a blind date with a cow, so...
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I just was reminiscing about that wild time in my life when I actually used to do things that were somewhat adventurous.
Yeah, and that's great, right? But actually, from that episode and on that drive home, I was like, you know what? It's been something I've been thinking about more so the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. More so, I would say, within the last year. And I'm like, I'm great. I need to put myself out there. And everybody like that's close to me is like, you just need to put yourself out there and just go on dates, because how else are you going to meet people and all of that?
Yeah.
And 110% I agree. I agree with every single sentiment that somebody has ever said to me about my lack of putting myself out there and my dating experience or lack thereof. I just think
arguably putting yourself out there is the hardest part. Once you've done it once, you can do it as many times, because I've done that. Like in the past, when I have put myself out there, I've been able to go on like lots of different dates and I've been fine.
Exactly.
It's just sort of pulling the plaster off of that first one to get the ball rolling.
Which I did do last summer, and fine.
But
I was
sort of semi-healed itself over again with another plaster now.
Yeah,
though.
it has. And I need to...
You missed the window.
I need to sort of break through that. And I think for me, it's a load of different factors. I know I'm great. I know what I bring to the table, okay? Yeah. I'm very comfortable around the people that are closest to me and know me, right? Mm-hmm. But then putting yourself out in a vulnerable situation, because that's what dating is really. I know it's not the be-all, end-all. I know at the end of the day, it's the whole exercise of it is to see whether both of you are vibing with it or not, and if you're not, it's absolutely fine, and that's A-okay.
I think as well, like, you will feel it will become more lighthearted the more you do it. It feels really vulnerable at the start, but then actually when you're going on lots of different dates and maybe dating different people and trying different places and things, it becomes more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's hard to see that when you're in that first sort of, oh, this is daunting moment.
Yeah, because it is daunting, and it's something I've always found daunting. My entire 20s, if we're talking about being in a limbo space, dating has definitely been one of those. Yeah. Because I've like edged in and out of it, on and off the dating apps, on and off like talking to people. And it's just one of those things where people say to me, you need to put yourself out there. You need to do it. And I'm like, yes, I know. And I 110% agree with everything you're saying to me, right? Yeah. But until you're in my shoes of putting yourself out there, okay, it's like really, really difficult, and it is that vulnerable state, and I don't like being vulnerable to people or putting myself in that situation when I don't really know the people. Like we've had a conversation, I think we mentioned last night, putting myself in a situation where I'm meeting someone that I don't know, that I've briefly spoken to online. Like, what if they turn up? And I know this happens and it's A-okay, but also it's like it will crush like the little confidence that I have with this anyway. Meeting somebody that I've only just like spoken to briefly, and the possibility of them being like, yeah, no. And I'm like, I know damn.
I can easily say this to you because I don't think that is a reflection of you at all, but it's really difficult. I wouldn't be able to say that about myself, if that makes sense. So if someone rejected me, I'd be like, I'm a horrible monster that is unlovable.
Exactly.
But if someone were to reject you, I'd just say, well, that's their loss. You're a really great person, then that doesn't have any reflection on who you are.
I know, and I think for me as well, it's trusting that these people actually want to talk to me and spend time with me, and I think that's a barrier in itself, because I have my guard up. I always have done, so it takes a lot for somebody to lower that down, and I'm trying to be a bit more cool, calm, collected. I'm getting older. I know who I am as a person. Exactly. People just need to embrace that, love that, because it's a great time.
That is why you were coming out of this whole limbo bimbo
that's
situation.
Why I am coming out.
That
of
was
this
a very
limbo.
long-winded explanation. We teased you with the idea that, you know, we were going to tell you what had happened with this whole date challenge, and then we went off on a tangent.
Well, I will tell you.
Hang on. Let me finish. Because there was an important limbo point in all of that. Yes, it did sound like we were just doing another episode on dating, but that was the limbo position in which we had both found ourselves that we are stepping out of. You go now.
I'm going. So episode 7, Annie set the challenge, thought I was going to slap her across the table, drove back home, realised, yes, we can do this. Mm-hmm. I have never in the past few weeks, is that it?
It's been a month, yeah.
Been a month, right? I have never put in a double shift like I have on my dating app. I'm not kidding. I've been swiping. I've been leaving comments.
Fingers are red raw.
Absolutely. I've been swiping on people thinking,
left, right, left, right.
Like, okay, they're not my usual type, but hey, let's give them a go.
Why not best be open-minded, people?
Exactly. Swipe, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't really get much response, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine, we're gonna keep going now. Normally
we love a tryer, we never give up.
We love a tryer,
never back down, never what.
Precisely. Exactly. Now normally that would be my first thing. I'm like, I give up.
There's no one here. I'm done.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm back in Limbo Bimbo.
Exactly. And I was like, no. So, the other week, swiped on this guy. Cool. And Thursday of this week, bearing in mind, I will preface that it does even say on his dating profile, don't hate me if it takes me long to reply. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Swiped on this guy. Didn't really think anything of it because at this point I was swiping, baby. I was swipe. Okay? Thursday of this week that's just happened, I got a notification. Oh, this guy has liked your photo or whatever.
You're going straight in his basket.
Oh, you've matched. And I was like, oh.
Like what you see, do you?
All right. I like that. All right. And I clicked on his profile. I was like, oh, yes, I remember him. And, you know, whatever, went through. And on this particular dating app, I'll just say it, Hinge, once you match, that it was my turn to be able to
say hello.
So, and I took the plunge. We had a nice conversation and a date has been arranged.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. So,
she's done it. She's done it, everyone. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Round of applause. I need to
Woo!
clap.
I mean, to be honest, the date has not happened yet.
No, but it's in the pipeline.
But it's in the pipeline.
And, like, the reason that I set this challenge for us was to get us, at the very least, even if it didn't work out, in the headspace of, this is what we need to do this year. We need to get ourselves out there.
Absolutely.
Even if it was just that we had, unfortunately, like in my case, been on the app, not really had anyone that we vibed with.
No. And
would want to go on a date with. But we're thinking about it more so than we ever have in the last year or two.
Yeah.
Which is really good. So
positive, small
steps. In my defence, though, I think I have felt undead for 3 weeks out of this month.
Yeah.
And I'm actively, like I said to Lucy a couple of days ago, I was like, I'm looking at Hinge more than I ever have in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Of having it.
Yeah.
Because, I say having it, I'd like think I've deleted the app for a good 8 months at a time within that 4 years.
Yeah. You have.
I'll download it and I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to look at this again for like 6 months. And I don't.
No.
So this was a big, I think I looked at it maybe 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Which is a lot for me. And I say look at it, I mean, I just checked it.
Yeah.
Looked at like who had liked me and then sometimes just quit the app.
Yes.
So, got a bit disheartened at who'd been liking me and thought, oh, maybe not.
I mean, there's always that side to that as well.
Yeah, but I'm really proud of you for getting a date locked in. I'm going to try my best to...
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time we like meet up again to record the next sort of bulk of episodes for the next season.
Yeah.
I'll have got there too.
Yeah, and who knows, in series 2, I may be able to give you an update.
She might be married.
Let's not.
The Shotgun Vegas wedding.
No.
That would be a great bombshell to come back with.
I mean, it would, but now there's pressure.
There's no pressure.
No.
It would actually be a bit weird if you did that, but...
Well, yeah, it
funny.
Would.
Really great bit, but...
Iconic behaviour from me anyway. I feel like people could expect that.
I can see you having sort of a Shotgun Vegas wedding, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
Like, full on, like, Elvis Whitechapel situation.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think it'd be hilarious.
Me wearing a blazer.
On top of your wedding dress, though. You've got a wedding dress on and a blazer.
Yeah. And some sunnies, because why not?
Love it.
Love it. Wow, what a vibe.
So that's 2 types of Limbo Bimbo that we've experienced. I'm trying to think if I have any other experiences, really. I mean, I'm definitely in a phase of it now, in some way. You go.
I was going to. But in relation to dating, I know you've just sort of covered that bit about yourself, but are you feeling like in a positive headspace with that?
Yeah, in a much more positive headspace than I have been in a really long time.
Which
I think
is great.
I'm actually like willing to give it more time of day now than I ever have been.
And I feel like we're both on the same wavelength with that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I know I can do it because I've done it before. I dated a cow, for God's sake.
Which is a great story. I love that story.
Yeah, so I know I can do it. It's just actually putting the time out there. And I think now that I've sort of had like a multitude of epiphanies whilst in the depths of hell of that illness. Yes. I've just learned a lot about myself.
High off your soil.
I was saying to Lucy today, I was like, I've been a vegetarian for like, God knows how many,
a long time.
I think since we finished uni, even so, like nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I went. Who cares? Sorry, we really don't need to know how long I've been a vegetarian. But I suddenly had like, I was listening to a lot of food podcasts, and I was like, do I want to eat meat again? And I was like, I don't. I love animals. That's the reason. It wasn't that I didn't like meat that I became a vegetarian. It was because of the ethical reasons for me.
Fair enough.
So I was like, is that what I want? And then today I was like, maybe I should be a pescatarian. Do I care about fish that much? And then I was like, why am I like changing all of my morals on a whim? That's ridiculous. I haven't. I'm still a vegetarian, just for the record. But
it was just a fleeting thought.
It was a really weird kind of. Lots of stuff came up.
It was what I would class as an intrusive thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was far too reflective during that time period, but it helped me figure out some work stuff, which is good.
Absolutely.
And like with dating, checking Hinge more than I used to. I didn't quite.
I'm proud of you for that.
Get that date, but
that's all right.
I do feel like I potentially might have been a little bit more hermity than you in terms of dating.
Right. Can you say that louder for the people at the back?
Anyone who said to Lucy that she needs to get out there more has not met me.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the thing is, like, I think I'm wanting to get out there more in general now, not just in dating. We spoke about this as well.
Yeah,
just
doing more things for you, experiences,
make the most of life.
Travel. Yeah,
you know.
And I get that. I think I'm on the same wavelength with you on that as well. Just got to do it.
You just got to do it. And I think being in the final countdown to 30.
The final countdown.
I'm nearly 30. And I'm getting things done. I do think that has put pressure on me in some ways negative, which I sort of briefly mentioned with the whole kids thing, but in other ways positive, that it's like, actually I really want to have fun in my 20s, and that whole pandemic kind of ruined that for a while.
Course it did.
I was having fun, and then I got depression and I wasn't having fun. And then I was like, I want to have fun again. I was just like starting to think I should solve this problem. Went to therapy, then the pandemic hits. And now I'm like, I feel good about myself. I want to have fun. So I need to get out there in all senses of the word, not just dating.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's a really positive thing, especially in the lead up to entering 30 as well.
I'm in like the final limbo of the 20s.
Yeah.
The limbo bimbo.
Limbo bimbo of the 20s.
That is actually an excellent episode of The Mighty Boosh, the limbo bimbo episode. I thoroughly recommend it if anyone wants to have a good laugh one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do feel like there's sort of like a change in the air. And
it does feel like that.
I don't know if it's the time of year, because it's like quite a nice time of year for getting things done.
Yeah.
Nights are lighter, all of that.
Yeah.
I genuinely just feel like I'm coming out of my own personal limbo.
Good.
And work was my biggest limbo bimbo.
Yeah.
But there are other limbo bimbos that have been quietly sort of
simmering away,
floating along the limbo bimbo river. But I was just on the work limbo bimbo boat on the limbo bimbo river.
Right.
And I didn't realise, like those tugboats that are pulling along other boats, there's lots of other little limbo bimbo-y things, like the dating limbo bimbo was on the work limbo bimbo tugboat.
And you just didn't notice them because they were smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were behind you. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly, but now some of them are sort of coming up to the side and they're in my peripheral, and I'm like, hey, look at you, that's another limbo bimbo I need to deal with, but let's do it. So the hermit limbo bimbo, getting out there a bit more in general, not just dating. I actually had a thought the other day to get myself excited about my 30th, because I am.
Yeah, as you should.
I'm going to be away for it, but I want to do something with my friends when I'm back.
Yes, please.
And I should probably book that in soon, because Christmas always just fucking comes along and takes all the good days in December.
Does. Yeah.
Shut up, Jesus.
We get it.
Need to book that in now. Do something to celebrate my 30th. I thought it'd be nice to do like a nice dinner or something.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
But
I say that. Just
not
inviting myself along.
You're actually not invited.
All right, rude.
Just simmer down now.
Okay, I'm simmering.
Good. I want to go. I've decided. I've been listening to a lot of foodie podcasts.
Yeah.
And through listening to them, I'm like, I just don't go and eat enough cool things. I really want to try more food.
Yeah.
And it's difficult now. I think maybe that's also part of the reason why I was like, should I not be vegetarian? Because it's really hard for me to try new things as a vegetarian, because there's usually only like 1 or 2 things on the menu.
Yeah.
But I will find places that have more than that.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I could try like 1 restaurant a month until my birthday and figure out where I want to go.
Yeah, you could do that.
Like I might find it early on in that process.
Yeah. That's quite a good plan, actually.
And then I get to just try loads of nice restaurants. And also, maybe to like break up the monotony of scary dating, I could take people to different restaurants I'm hoping to try for my birthday. And if they're lucky, they'll end up there twice.
Well,
but if they're not...
Oh, I like that.
I hope they're not there on the evening.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck off.
Get out. Yeah, so that's how I'm tackling my limbo bimbos.
Proud of
You're
you.
tackling your limbo bimbos. Have you got any other limbo bimbos?
Not currently. I feel like I said earlier, I feel quite settled with things. So coming out of that whole limbo bimbo phase of dating and putting myself out there, really sort of like channeling that and going for that.
Yeah.
I can't really say about anything else. I feel like I'm in a clear headspace, which for me, I don't feel always happens.
But that's nice. Just roll with it.
And I'm rolling with it. And I feel like I'm taking each day, I'm taking each week, and I'm just slowly starting to get back to things that I used to do for myself back in the day, like my earlier 20s, where I would just take myself off and do different things, go to the theatre and whatever, and I'm like pushing myself to do that because I really enjoy doing that. The only other thing I would say is that I've recontacted again about the drama group, because again that's another thing I really, really want to go back into.
Well, you're being proactive about the acting limbo bimbo, so that's good.
So I'm being proactive about that because I really want to do it, and I really want to prove to myself that I can do it and that I still enjoy doing it, and doing that as a hobby and getting back out there on the stage. I fucking love it. You know, and if I could get into a production, like a local production of something, I would really, really enjoy that. Yeah. I know I would.
I think on that whole thought process of going out, doing things you enjoy and like being proactive about following up on something you want to do, if you are in a position or have been in a position in the past where you feel like you're stuck in limbo, I think that is a really good way to get out of it. Yeah. And it's not even necessarily for example, it was a work limbo bimbo, right? Yeah. I really need to stop saying limbo.
No,
bimbo,
I love it.
But it's become natural now. I feel like if anyone says limbo to me in the future, I'm just going to have to say limbo bimbo.
Yeah.
I feel like if you are in a position where you're having a work limbo bimbo, you can sometimes use those other things that you really enjoy to help you get out of that. And it's not necessarily that you have to put all of your focus on trying to figure out what you want to do for work, because I think I was doing that before I had my illness epiphany.
Yeah.
And actually taking myself away from even thinking about it and not thinking about anything is what helped me figure out how to get out of that limbo. Well, so putting yourself in a position where you're distracted, not always, I say this with a pinch of salt, there has to be a balance between trying to figure out your situation of which you feel you are in limbo for, because you're not going to figure out if you don't give it any attention. But sometimes we tend to, like when we're trying to problem solve, we tend to put all of our energy into trying to solve that problem, and sometimes if you're throwing too much at something, nothing's going to stick. So putting yourself in a different situation that you feel safe in, you feel happy and you get enjoyment out of, may then trigger the thought process to help you with the other situation you're in limbo for.
And I would agree, because that actually did happen to me when I was 24. So I was in a real big work limbo bimbo, hated it. And I then found my hobby of photography. Yeah. And it was something I could focus on and do. And I put myself on photography courses. And it was a way for me to almost come out of myself and have that time to focus on that. So then the work limbo bimbo of it, you know, sort of settled down a bit because I had something else to focus on. Yeah. So it sort of like equaled things out for me. Yeah. I mean, I was still stuck in that place for a few more years after that. But
you did it though. Look where you are now.
Yeah.
I think also, like, just to go back to what we spoke about at the start in terms of the podcast, the reason I wanted to do it in the first place was to be creative and for it to be fun. And then obviously I sort of lost that along the way with getting a bit too intense with it.
Yeah.
And then taking a step back, realising I can take a week off. And I think that was really sort of key in my thought process going to where we're at now and going, this needs to be more lighthearted, more fun. We can take breaks. It's not that deep.
No, it's not.
Having that week off and it not being the end of the world made me go, I don't have to do this every single week perfectly for the rest of my life.
No.
Actually, I can take time off from this. It is meant to be a hobby, so it should be fun.
Yeah.
I should do that as much or as little as I want to do it. I want to do it. And if I need to take a break, I need to take a break. And that is true of other things as well. It's not just creative endeavours.
And we've all got to be a bit kinder to ourselves and realise that not everything in life is picture perfect. Not everything can be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, we're perfectionists, right? But it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world, right? That, you know, things don't always pan out how you want them to, because you can't be so rigid with things like that. Life gets in the way. Things happen. It is what it is. And I feel like that in general can be applied to everything in life. So
at all ages.
At all ages, at all different things. Let's not put pressure on ourselves unnecessarily, which is sometimes easier said than done, right? But let's all make a pact right now that we're not going to do that as much, like going into the rest of this year, because what is the point?
There is no point.
No.
I think also just another thing that I've thought of before we sort of round out the conversation is limbo is a natural thing that can occur at any point in life.
Oh, yeah, so many times.
But I do think in your 20s it can crop up a little bit more than you're expecting it to sometimes.
Yes.
So, and in many different ways. Obviously relationships, because as you sort of mentioned in the dating episode, that becomes different for everyone throughout your 20s.
Yes.
Some people are in relationships, some people aren't, some people are figuring out their sexuality, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Comes into it. So you can feel in limbo with that. You can feel in limbo with either wanting to change jobs or leaving university and not being able to get a job. You can feel in limbo if you feel like your friends are getting married and you don't want to, or they're having kids and you don't want to, or they're buying houses and you can't afford to.
Yeah.
There are so many different things in which you can feel, and again, it comes back to our comparisons episode as well. Like, they all link, really.
Yeah, of course they do.
So clever. You know, these things all come at different stages. There are many different types of limbo bimbo, and I feel like just because of the nature of how much change does tend to happen in that decade between 20 and 30, and how it sort of knocks you off your feet a little bit, because from the previous decade of 10 to 20, you've tended to be mostly in the same kind of line as everyone else. You're all sort of standing there, and now some people have sprinted off ahead of you, or some people have fallen behind you.
Yeah.
So that's I would say that's where the biggest divide happens of space.
Yes, and I will say, because I'm pretty sure I said this in a previous episode, but I think it applies to every aspect of life. Yeah. Stay in your lane.
Exactly.
Focus on you. It doesn't matter what the person in front of you or behind you or to the side of you is doing. You've got to focus on you, because you're the only person that can make those changes and can give yourself access and allow yourself to do stuff that you want to do. Let's not focus on other people.
I saw a TikTok that I sent you a couple of weeks ago, actually. And this guy was describing how in life everyone is running their own marathon, right?
Yes.
And often you'll be running your marathon and you'll be looking at the people who are ahead of you, and there'll be some people who are only like a couple of steps ahead of you, and there'll be others who are 10 meters, 100 meters, even maybe a couple of kilometers ahead of you. Mm-hmm. There's someone winning the race, there's someone coming second, there's someone coming third. You might be one of those people, you might not be, but there might be a hell of a lot of people ahead of you.
Yeah.
But if you were to turn around, there's so many more behind you too.
Exactly.
So realistically, does it even matter? You're one person within that like space and time, and the people on the sidelines are still cheering you on.
Exactly. I like that.
So I thought that was really nice.
Yeah,
because,
I like that.
Yeah, you can feel really good for the people ahead of you, but also sometimes feel like, oh, I should be with them. But then you turn around and you don't go, oh, look at these slow people behind me. You don't do that. You go, oh, there's still people coming. I feel better. I'm still on the right track.
Yes.
And you don't use it as a means to go, I'm better than them. I'm ahead of them. You just go, oh, I'm on track. I'm not the last person. And even if you are the last person, it doesn't matter. You're still running a marathon. That's amazing.
Exactly. And I mean, in all honesty, I would be the very last person if we were talking about a marathon. But that's okay because I'm doing it in my own time.
That is literally going to be me in December. So,
mate, you've got this. You've got this.
Do you know what though? I haven't put pressure on myself for it. I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
To say that I've done one because I saw a statistic that was like only 1% of people in the world will actually complete a marathon, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
And also really cool. And also I just thought it's a challenge for myself that is really, I'm the only one that can measure how well I do it.
Yeah.
It's something to work towards. It's making me healthier by running.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it for charity as well. So I'm going to raise money, which will be nice.
Which is amazing.
And I just think that I haven't put any pressure on myself other than I just want to finish.
Yeah.
If it takes me 8 hours, it will take me 8 hours. I don't think it will because I'm not that slow. I'm slow, but I'm not that slow.
No.
But I don't care about getting a really fast time. And I might do that marathon and go, okay, I finished it. That was really cool. I've got the running bug. I want to do another one. Or I might finish that marathon and go, I'm never fucking doing this again. I don't know what that's going to be until the day. Yeah. And I have no expectations nor preferences for either. All I want to do is finish it.
And you will.
And that's all I'm working on doing. I want to finish it and make sure I don't irreparably damage myself in some way afterwards. And that's why I'm taking the training really slowly but seriously.
Yeah.
So
again, stay in your lane.
Exactly. I don't care about the people who are going to be in front of me. I know there are going to be people passing me left, right and centre, and that is fine.
That's okay.
As long as I can see my mum at the end, I'll be all right.
Oh, I know, but that'll be amazing.
Yeah.
What a great thing.
Exactly. I also just wanted to make it a bit more fun by doing it in Hawaii, so. Which
I think is so epic,
But it's very extra, but it's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
So, anyway, that's I think enough on Limbo.
It is.
In general, it is a very natural thing to feel Limbo Bimbo.
In any aspect of life.
Yeah, it can come up in so many different things. And it's okay if you've always been sure about something and then you find yourself in a period of limbo.
Yeah.
To go, oh, I'm going to sit and think about this for a bit. Oh, it was just a silly hiccup. Or actually, this is not right for me. I am going to leave. It is okay to do that.
Yeah.
And it's also okay to not experience limbo. Some people are fortunate that they're just cool. But I would say it's very rare if you haven't. And well done if you haven't.
Yes.
But it's natural. It's normal. Take some time to figure it out, but don't take too much time and think about other things too, because that often will help you get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Wow. What a great.
Limbo, limbo, bimbo, bimbo, limbo, bimbo. Limbo, bimbo.
Vibe bus.
Oh, finger bus.
Finger bus.
Do you want to go first with your Hear Me Out? Actually, hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Have a nice jingle. Hear me out. And that was the jingle. Thanks for listening.
The last jingle of series 1.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
I think, let us know how you're feeling about our segments as well, because we might change them up for season 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do really love Hear Me Out, though.
Yes.
And I feel like that's here to stay forever.
Yeah, I decree.
I do decree.
All right. These are random because obviously this episode...
Limbo Bimbo is a place with no rules or regulations, is it?
Exactly. The first one that I've got. Where would you live? What would you do? And how would you live if money wasn't an issue? Hit me.
I don't know. I need to be I've realised in the time that I've had off, sort of somewhat living like a lady of leisure, but being really unemployed, I do need something to keep me busy because I've slowly lost my mind.
Yeah.
I just need something creative to do. So something creative.
Okay.
Maybe I get to just write scripts. And
amazing. Yeah.
Never have to worry about a budget for them. I can just make them whenever I want to and however I want to.
Yeah.
So that means that actually I can write and direct and produce my own stuff.
Yeah.
But there's no budget restraints on that, so I can do it in and so I can pay everyone really nice wages.
Yeah.
And I can have acceptable hours.
Yes.
Like I'll be like some weird anomaly in the film industry where everyone has a really nice time. We all run around in the fields and meadows and circles and hold hands and
sounds
have breaks when we don't want to hold hands and run around anymore together.
I love
There's
that.
boundaries in place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we're all just being creative and fun and free spirited, and we get paid well and we get enough sleep, and our food and the food's really good.
Great.
So that's what I'd be doing and how I'd be living. And I have a really good work-life balance.
Oh,
and like
yeah.
a really sexy husband who's like emotionally intelligent and like is really proud of the fact that I'm an independent woman running my own production company and like being a creative and running in a field all day.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe he'd do it with me, I don't know. But like not if I didn't want him to.
Yeah, no.
He understands what my needs, you know?
And he will stay in his lane.
Yeah. His lane, my lane. Sometimes we're a dual carriageway together. Other times we peel off in different ways.
I love that.
Yeah. So we're doing that.
Okay.
I don't know where I would live. Probably London. I do love it, but I hate it.
Yeah.
But
any specific area, or would it be more like Surrey?
Okay, actually, because money's not an issue, I've just remembered that.
Yeah.
Again. Maybe I would have a flat in central London.
Yeah.
Like a really nice one. But then I'd also have a really nice house in Surrey. So
yeah,
mood dependent would be where I would be.
Because
that's if this is like my ideal life, right? I can just do whatever I want. So if I feel like I want to go to the theatre, I can stay in my nice flat in central London and it's not hard for me to get around and it's really nice.
Yeah.
I'm just going to live in Soho.
Oh, all right. Amazing.
Yeah. And then come out to Surrey when I want to feel like I'm churning butter and I've got Tarquin and Phoenix on doing violin lessons in the conservatory with the private tutor.
Amazing.
But they're not assholes though. They still have a personality.
Yeah.
You know, they're just perfect.
I love that for
and
you.
And they love their mummy. But they also, I haven't given them any kind of like fear of abandonment because I work too much.
Fucking hell.
This is just like the perfect life. We're getting a bit deep.
Yeah, we are getting a bit deep.
Yeah, so nice Surrey house, nice flat. I do the dream job and I eat nice food.
Yeah.
What about you? Sorry, I went on a really long time there. I rambled.
That's quite all right. Similar answer. I would have to be doing something creative. In an ideal world, if money was not an object,
are you frolicking in my field, acting in my
yeah, I would. Work. I would completely throw myself into
passion projects. You know, training as much as I can. Because you know me, I love to learn and really, really be on top of something. Ooh.
Whether that, well,
steady on.
So it would be acting, it would be photography, it would be, you know, doing something like you. I'd need to keep busy. I like to be busy, right? Again, I would love to live in London, whether that would be
really?
I would really like to experience that. Mayfair, South Kensington, rich bitch area, because
she's
let's be honest,
although I did
posh.
say I'd live in Soho, but I mean Soho's posh, but it's not posh.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So either that's what I would be doing, right? Living like that.
Living La Vida Loca.
Living La Vida Loca. Going to see as much theatre as I can, really absorbing myself in that.
Just you have time for your hobbies. Like I could read a whole book in one sitting if I fancied it, but yet still have the time to make my
butter
film and my butter.
Yeah. But also, you know, putting money back into the arts. You know, and really doing that, because I've always felt really strongly about that anyway. But either it would be London or New York.
Which is mad because you've never been.
But there is something that I have always felt connected to New York.
Yeah.
I've always had a connection to America in general. I don't know if it's because I've always consumed a lot of American TV, film, culture as I've grown up. Yes, I've never been to America, but I just feel like New York would be a place that I would fall in love with.
I would describe New York as London's cooler younger sister.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's got amazing. There's lots of similarities, but then it's also so different. Obviously, because it's a different you know, continent, culture, all of that. But there's a lot that lines up. Like there's, you know, you've got Broadway, you've got the West End, like all of that kind of stuff that are similar but not the same.
Yes. Obviously, I would be following my rich bitch vibes anyway. It would be Upper East Side, Upper West Side, you know, that type of vibe, because I need to experience that luxury in life.
You know, I feel like you say that, but I think once you go to New York, you might change your mind.
Yeah, maybe.
I think you'd be more of like a meatpacking district Soho kind of girl.
Oh my God, because I'm so cool. Yeah, I know. I get that. I get that vibe. I can fling myself about. That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you live in New York and I can come and visit you and you can come and stay in my many homes and frolic in fields with me.
Yes.
So that's an important part of it as well, because I think that brings a lot of joy.
That does bring a lot of joy.
Nice. Good question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On to you.
My turn again. Would you rather solve the world's greatest mysteries, but not be allowed to tell anyone what they are and what the answers are to those mysteries? So you know, you get all the information.
Right.
But you can't tell a soul. Or would you rather just stay ignorant, not know? Because would the pressure of knowing but not being allowed to tell anyone get to you and send you mad?
Now, anyone that knows me, right? If you come and you say something to me and you're like, I don't want anybody else knowing. Sometimes you don't even have to say that.
Yeah, you can keep a secret.
Anything that you say to me, that's between us.
Except right now, because that's between us and a lot of people.
Absolutely. But people can trust me, right? So
you're not a gossip monger, that's for sure.
No, I definitely was back in the old youth, I would say.
She's a recovering gossip monger.
But I'm recovering. I've really felt like Gossip Girl influenced that. But anyway.
Go piss girl, you mean?
Yeah, go piss girl. But so I feel like if I knew all the world's mysteries, I would be like, I love that for me. You know?
I feel like you'd be smug about it.
I would be smug about it, but I don't think I would crack under pressure. Knowledge is power, isn't it, really?
But it's not in this because you can't share it.
No, but you know what? Sometimes it's great to just know things to yourself. But then on the other flip side of that, sometimes ignorance is bliss. And there's many, many things in life and in the world that I don't know, I don't understand, I can't comprehend.
But it's none of your business.
It's none of my business. To be honest, that's pretty much how I live my life anyway. So it's not much different. So
it kind of feels like you don't care. So maybe it is that you would stay ignorant.
Yeah, probably. Because let's be honest, yeah, it'd be great to know all that information, but if I can't share it, even though I wouldn't crack under pressure because I will hold down a secret.
Yeah, but I suppose this is like government secrets and mysteries, so it's not like to a specific person.
No, but again, I think it would probably freak me out more so if I knew everything.
I love a conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah, you do.
I really enjoy them. I just think they're funny. And it's just an interesting way to critically think.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't mean, and by I love a conspiracy theory, I'm not like, I'm a flat earther. You know, I have some logic to my thinking within it, but I just think it's a really interesting topic in general to look at all these different things that people have conspiracy theories around and really sort of deep dive into them and go, how have all these people decided collectively to come to this conclusion?
Yes.
Why are they all so concrete in their thinking with this? What proof do they have? How are they thinking? It's just really interesting to see how people think in different ways. And the critical thinking around conspiracy theories is interesting. There's a lot of not so critical thinking involved and more so tinfoil hat thinking, which is actually quite funny. So it's just an interesting topic in general, which I really like. But there's lots of conspiracy theories that revolve around government secrets and like Area 51 and all of that kind of stuff. And like the Bermuda Triangle, I'd love to understand that. Imagine knowing the meaning behind the Bermuda Triangle. That's not just...
Yeah, that would freak me out.
I used to be scared of that when I was younger, and I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why are we scared of this and why are we scared of quicksand? How often are you walking in? Although you did tell me a story about quicksand.
Yeah, I did
this morning. But you know, realistically, you're not coming into quicksand every weekend. You're not walking into the Bermuda Triangle by accident. But things like planes that have gone missing,
that freaks me out. No.
Yeah, so actually this cements that you would rather stay ignorant.
Yeah, it absolutely
I would
does.
just love to know that, and I don't care about telling people. I can keep a secret. I need to know. I need to know what's going on in Area 51.
She a nosy bitch.
Yeah. I would like to know everything. Tell me everything. I don't care if I can't tell anyone because I know.
Do you want to hear my final one?
Yeah.
If you could learn any skill you want in the world, knowing that you would be instantly great at it without even trying, right?
Yeah.
What would it be and why?
See, I was with you and I had something in mind.
Yeah.
Until you said I'd be instantly great at it.
Yeah, why?
Because I just feel like it would really take the enjoyment out of it.
Oh, interesting.
For me personally, part of the enjoyment of mastering something new or like doing something really well is the fact that I finally got there.
Yeah.
And if you can just do it straight away, there's been no journey.
No, I agree.
And it wouldn't, I just don't think it would be as satisfying. It might be, okay, yeah, the first couple of things you try and you're like, oh, I'm really good at this.
Yeah, ace. Yeah.
You'd feel really good and you'd be like, look at me.
Yeah.
But then actually it would just get old really quickly if you could do that. I know it's saying one thing, but I'm just thinking if like...
Yeah. But what would the skill be?
Do you know what, actually? Maybe if I am going to be instantly good at it, I'm just going to say a language. Because I don't think... I know personally for me, that's why I've never learned another language, is I'm not patient enough for it.
Yeah, same.
And I don't think I get that much gratification from it because I'd never get past the point of having enough patience to get through the whole thing and learn the language properly. So if I could instantly learn a language, I don't know if I'd do French or Spanish.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe Italian.
Because if it was me, it would be Italian for me.
You know what? I'm just going to say Italian because I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Sexy as well.
I can have long Italian summers and order pizza in a really impressive way.
Oh, yeah.
But just, really good at it. Really good at talking about pasta.
Love that.
Yeah. Anyway, what would you do?
I was thinking more of like a cool skill of like...
Oh, like skateboarding.
That I could like whip out at any point.
Okay.
And I agree with the fact that if you're instantly great at something, it takes away the enjoyment of learning and improving and on that journey. Because like I've said so many times before, I love to learn new things and go through that process. But when it comes to this question, and I don't know why, but I think it's because deep down it would make me feel so badass, right?
Right.
And it's just a fun thing to just whip out. Archery. I would love to be...
so... fucking random.
I know, but like I have tried it in the past and it's like actually that would be epic.
Like Katniss Everdeen, like chill out.
Yeah, but I just think that would be super cool. And I don't know why.
I get where you're coming from, that you like the instant gratification of doing it really well is kind of badass in archery. Like you just pick it up and you're really good.
Yeah.
Like, that's quite cool.
Yeah.
I get it. Like that has a cool energy about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're a bit shit when you start with archery.
Yeah, and it's an unusual skill as well.
Yeah. Okay, I get that, but I do see, you do kind of see what I mean though. Like it takes the fun out of that. I think is an exception to what I've said in terms of like a physical thing that you could learn.
Yes,
because it's so cool.
So I think
like just on target immediately. That's sick.
Yeah, because then I could whip that out in anything, and I just feel like it's a cool, unusual skill, and that could help me in the future for different things.
Yeah, and when it's the inevitable apocalypse, for sure.
Yeah, or just an
I'm
acting
speaking
job.
Italian, you're attacking people. We're a real good duo.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Film it. Let's put it on the big screen.
I'm just romancing people with my accent whilst you just like distracting them. You send me in, I go all like sexy Italian, and then you shoot them in the forehead with an arrow.
Epic.
It's quite something.
But that's the end of Hear Me Out.
It is. We've done a triple.
I know, right? Shoe on the other foot. I thought I would just surprise you this week.
But also, not only is it the end of Hear Me Out, it's the end of season 1.
End of season 1. Woo! Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Yes, thank you. And enjoy the break. Don't miss us too much. To be serious for a moment, which I do struggle to do. Especially today for some reason. All that baby holding. Thank you very much for listening, for liking, for sharing, for anything you've done to support this podcast for season 1. We do appreciate you.
Giving us feedback.
Yeah, that's always appreciated too, because we love to learn and grow and improve and make the listening experience better for us, better for you, better for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And not involved. Get involved if you're not involved.
And let us know what you've enjoyed this series.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you for the support. Please do come back for season 2. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Tell a friend, tell your mum, tell your cousin.
See you there.
Tell anyone on the street, at the bus stop, who cares?
Yeah, shout about it.
Spread the word. Maybe now's probably the wrong time to ask you to do that because it is the end of the season and we are going on a break. But, you know, season 2 will be round the corner. Keep an eye on our socials for when that will be, because we don't actually know right now.
No.
This is us from the past.
Yeah, exactly.
So, thank you.
Thank you. And we've really enjoyed doing this. It's been fun and creative, and we're learning, and it's been really nice to just sort of get some of our thoughts out there, and the feedback honestly has been great, and I can't wait to come back for series 2.
Yep.
Give you some updates.
Yep. See how that date goes.
See if I
ever actually manage to go on one.
Yeah.
All right then, stay safe, watch the roads, good night and good luck.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of 29 to Life.
She's been Annie.
She's been Lucy.
New episodes drop every Thursday on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Catch the video version on YouTube.
Don't miss out on behind-the-scenes exclusives on all of our socials. You can find us with the same handle, at 29 to Life Pod, on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube.
Or email us at 29tolifepod@gmail.com.
Follow, like and subscribe on whatever platform you choose. We would love to see you there.
See you next Thursday. Bye!